Hello everyone, this is Maureen and welcome back to another day of praying through the darkness. Our topic today is dependency. So what are some things that you depend on? Well, all of us depend on an income, don't we? I mean, money is what makes the world go round. So we have to have money to pay our bills, to buy the things that we truly need, like a roof over our head, food to put on the table, clothing. We need insurance for various things. I mean, now we do need an income, don't we? Of some sort, and it doesn't matter where it comes from. But like I said, money makes the world go round. So we depend on money. We also depend on others. Like, I depend on my spouse, and I know he depends on me, not only for companionship, but for strength, security, um, yeah, just to get through life. And that's what our marriage is basically about. Not only just companionship, but, having someone around all the time to tell you how good you are. You know what I mean? But do we truly look at dependency as a good thing? Because, many of us at different times on our lives also depend on acceptance. And sometimes we'll do anything to get to be accepted. I mean, think back just in elementary school. Didn't you always want to be in the in crowd, with the cool girls or the cool guys? I mean, sure, all of us want to belong to a group. And so we depend on looking and seeing what group we want to be in and what it is that we have to do in order to be accepted. But you know what? All of that changes as we get older. I mean, our interests change, our group of friends change. But there's one dependency that we can always count on, no matter what our stage is in life, and that is the dependency on God. And in Romans 9:16 we find these words. It depends not on human will or exertion, but on God who has mercy. We all depend on God. We depend on Him for our health. We depend on Him for supplying the things that we need. No, not what we want, because I tell you what, my want list is always a lot longer than my needs list. And, that really should be the way it is. Our needs need to take priority. In other words, I need to pay my electric bill before I go out and buy that fancy new phone. I need to make sure that there's enough food in the pantry to make sure we are fed until the next paycheck before I go out and go clubbing with my friends. I mean, priorities. And that's what God supplies for us. Our needs, our priorities that take care of us. Not only physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. So our dependency on God truly does depend on a few things. One is being faithful to Him. Being faithful in that we are always looking to His Word, reading the Bible, getting to know Him better. It also depends on, or not depends on, but our dependency with our connection with God also requires that we talk with Him. We have daily prayers with Him. And folks, I don't know about you, but for me, I talk to God throughout the day. I mean, and most of the times, I don't even know if my prayers end with an amen, because it's an ongoing conversation for me. And I know many of you know what I'm talking about. We start up in the morning saying, thank you for another great day. I know it's going to be wonderful because, God, you're going to be with me. So help me to see the things that I need to do for you today, Lord. Did I say amen? No, because I know I'm going to come back to him in just a little bit. And sometimes, folks, it's not even a minute that's gone by before I've come back and said something to him. Like, Lord, I just saw the most beautiful bird outside my window. Thank you for that. There are many ways in which we depend on God, but that dependency means that we have a connection with him. And that connection can only come through us seeking him daily. And like I said, two wonderful ways to seek God is to study his word and then to communicate with him in prayer. Father, sometimes I feel the need to get off the merry-go-round of life to rest for a while. The pace of this life will not let up. If I'm waiting for a better time to take a day off or a less busy seasons to start that hobby I've been thinking about for months, that time is never going to come. Perhaps it's time to reconsider what my priorities look like. The value of my life is not dependent on my output or my intentions. You have already declared that I am enough in you. Why am I so easily convinced that meaning is wrapped up in what I do for you rather than who I am? Your mercy covers me in my weakness and in my strength. So help me to lean into your heart, taking my cue for living from your wisdom and not from the expectations of this world. God, I find my true value in you. So as I look to you, I can see myself more clearly. Thank you for your wisdom that is always available, because I want to live like you, not according to the expectations of my perfectionist views or of anyone else's beliefs about who I should be. Help me, Father, to lean on you today, for in you I always find my goodness. Yes, I do. By leaning on God, by depending on him, our lives are always so much better, so much richer, because he is the one that supplies all that we need. So recognize that depending on God is not a bad thing, folks. In fact, it's a wonderful way to live our lives, depending on God to show us what we are to do day by day. Number one, to glorify him, and number two, to grow closer to him. And I do hope, I pray, that that's what you seek every single day. Your dependency, your growing likeness of God. Thank you as always for joining me to hear these words that are chosen for us from this little blue book that comes from Broad Street Publishers. Remember, there is a link for you down in the description box. All you got to do is click on it if you're looking to add to your devotional library or if you're looking for a wonderful gift to give to someone. Please don't forget to hit that little like button down there. Leave me a comment. Tell me, how do you depend on God? What are some of your routines that remind you that you are not alone in this world, that God is always with you? If this was your first time here, thank you so much for coming in and sitting with us for a spell. I would like to invite you to hit that subscribe button, join the My Crochet Story family, look for the bell with those cute little hugs on the side, because it'll let you know every time I upload content, especially if daily words of encouragement are what you were looking for. As I said, folks, look every day to depend on God. Let him fight the chaos that this world wishes to throw at you, because you know what? That's his job. Our job is to get on about our Father's business. And as always, remember, I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.